what we're talking about here is changing the heart of the pitch to the employers and the business community and the people who are managing communities, to a pitch that says, look, you're heading into a demographic economic death spiral because of the demographics. The economic conditions, all the problems everybody's talking about, taxes going up and revenues going down and all that are just aggravating the problem. The real problem is that you're not going to have enough qualified workers to grow your company when you need to. And you're not going to be able to replace people. And the way we get at it is through a formula that we define economic development within, which is E greater than P. So you want your economy to grow faster than your population. If the economy grows faster than the population, theoretically everybody in that economy, households, businesses, tax-dependent institutions, all have more money per person to serve than they had the year before. So they have the excess revenue to make improvements. If this arrow goes the other way, if the economy grows slower than the population, the population could actually be shrinking. This isn't restricted to environments where there's growth in the population. Population can be shrinking. You want your economy to be shrinking slower. That way, everybody has more resources per person to serve. Tax revenue, household income, revenue per square foot in retail stores, all revolve. So when you start looking at what you have to do to grow the economy faster than the population, you've got to grow the economic base. If you looked at your population here as a pie chart, about half the population, so this side, half the population works, half the population is either too old or too young to work. So you have your least qualified person in the economy here, all around to the most productive person here. Well, what's going to happen in the next 10 years is all the boomers, the most productive, hard-working workers in the economy, are going to fail into the most expensive dependent class, the retirees. It's going to shrink your qualified worker category. The other thing that's happening is our schools are failing, and they're dumping kids. Half our kids are getting dumped into the not qualified sector, and not qualified and are going to struggle to get qualified. So what's happening is the population's growing because those boomers aren't dying. We're healthier and living longer, so life expectancy is going up. So the population's going to grow. The economy wants to grow and scale with the population, and it won't be able to. Because what's going to happen is this line, so you're going to lose these guys to retirement, and then this line is moving this way because jobs are getting more sophisticated. Jobs are getting more automated, sophisticated. And so people that used to be qualified building cars in Detroit on an assembly line are now unemployed. Right. So this line is moving this way because of the nature of the jobs are getting harder, and the school system's dumping too many kids off in this sector. So what you end up with is a redrawn graph like this, where it gets bigger, and the proportion of people that are in this sector, in this qualified work sector, is a fraction of what it was before. And here's the problem. This is what creates the death rate. The second you hire the last person that's qualified, you can't grow anymore. You can't grow your economy anymore. So your populations keep growing as people retire and have kids, but the amount of tax revenue you generate is generated by this quadrant. So the two quadrants that you want to grow are shrinking, young and qualified. And the two quadrants you want to shrink, too old and not qualified, are exploding. The only solution to this for a lot of communities is you either have to be able to attract talent. You have to steal talent from other communities. So it's a zero-sum market. So you're going to have to steal talent in a better place than someplace else and rob them of their workers, qualified workers. Or you're going to have to mine talent out of your unqualified sector. And if you are not a nice enough place already to be naturally attracting the 24 to 44-year-old, hardworking, talented, got their life halfway together cohort, then you better be getting really good at growing your own. Your community will be way more prepared to withstand the pressures of this demographic event and the economic problems coming. You'll be a more resilient place than your competition if you figured out how to mine talent out of your unqualified sector. And so the reason our think tank on economic development got interested in Scott's program is because this is the only thing we know of that actually works. That actually systematically identifies hard to employ, chronically poor people, crushed, walk into the program crushed, come out with not only a plan and the knowledge they need, but also with 2 extra vectors, maybe 3 extra vectors of accountability. To me, the real secret to the ability of this program to perform is that you create 2, 3 extra vectors of accountability in this person's life. You know, so you've got a family economic stability plan, and you've got a career path lined out. So, you know, when your mother's bugging you that you've got to sign up for classes at the community college and you blow her off, you don't get your paperwork together, you don't get in there on time, it's one thing. You've been blowing her off for years, so the difference is an age. But when you have, you know, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people in your circles group that you've been working together with for a year or more, and you're accountable to them, you're going to be way more likely to actually go through with all the little details it takes to get it done.